Welcome to Open Book, where Raj Shekhar opens his heart and his mind. This episode, What to Say and Not to Say, is the 7th in the series, The Ignored Crisis. It explores the communication challenges that caregivers face and how some of those can be addressed. The kettle whistles, a small, familiar sound in my mother's kitchen. Steam curls upward, and yet, the silence between us feels heavier than the air. "Ma," I say gently, "the tea will get cold." She looks up, puzzled. "Whose house is this?" I swallow the pain. Just moments ago, she told me it was hers. And before I can stop myself, I say, "Ma, I just told you that." I knew I had made a mistake. Her brow furrows. Confusion turns to fear. That night, I learned the first rule of this new language. Alzheimer's changes the grammar of love. Logic no longer works, only gentleness does. Across the world, millions of families sit at similar tables, learning to speak a new kind of language. One made not of perfect words, but of patience, touch, and tone. So, what really happens with dementia? It's not just about memory, it's about the conversation itself. The circuits that once allowed effortless talk begin to break down. Words disappear like scattered pages from a beloved book. A sentence begins, and forgets where it was going. According to Alzheimer's Disease International, a communication breakdown is one of the earliest and most distressing experiences for both the person and the caregiver. When we correct, "No, Ma, that's not right," we mean to help. But her brain can't hold on to the correction. All it feels is criticism. That's why experts, like Tom Kitwood, remind us. The person comes first, not the disease. Our goal is no longer perfect understanding, but shared calm, a quiet harbor where confusion can rest without shame. When words lose meaning, feelings still know their way home. We need to enter their world instead of trying to pull them into ours. So, if your father insists he must catch the train at 8, he's not wrong, he's expressing anxiety, a need for purpose and rhythm. You can say, "Let's get ready early, you've always liked being on time." That single line brings dignity where correction would bring fear. And in Indian homes, this takes on even deeper meaning. Elders expect respect, not debate. A gentle nod, a softer tone, and never correcting in front of others. These small gestures protect self-esteem and preserve grace. Sometimes, what matters is not what we say, but how we say it. Here are some everyday swaps that can make big differences. When they repeat a question, don't sigh, "I already told you." Try instead, "That's a good question, yes, we will travel tomorrow." If they recall someone long gone, don't say, "She died years ago." Say, "You're thinking of her today, she cooked wonderful food." If they forget who you are, don't ask, "Don't you know me?" Say, "Dad, I am Joe, your son. It's lovely to see you." Small changes, but huge differences. These are not tricks, they are acts of kindness and respect. Even without words, conversation continues, in eyes, in tone, in touch. Research shows that over 70% of communication is nonverbal. So, approach from the front, keep your eyes level, and give silence some time to work. A gentle hand on the forearm can sometimes say more than a whole paragraph. Music, prayer, and familiar smells, these reach places where words cannot. I've seen people who no longer recognize faces but can still hum every line of an old song. That's the brain, remembering, through the heart. And then, there's culture. For example, in India, caregiving often happens within big families, where respect and hierarchy run deep. It's not easy. You can't always correct an elder, it feels rude. But ignoring unsafe behavior feels wrong too. So, what is the balance? Inclusion. Never talk about them as if they're not in the room. Involve them in small rituals, such as stringing flowers, lighting a lamp, or tasting a curry. It's not about perfection, it's about belonging. And remember, caregivers often battle guilt, especially daughters-in-law juggling tradition and tenderness. However, when families discuss these tensions openly, the shame dissipates, and collective wisdom emerges. Let's look at a few real moments from daily life. Morning. She's brushed her teeth 3 times. Instead of arguing, try humor. Your toothpaste smells nice, and your teeth are sparkling. Shall we have breakfast? Mealtime. She says, I already ate, when she hasn't. You smile and reply, maybe so, but this smells too good not to try. Evening. Restlessness creeps in as the sun sets. Switch on the lights, play soft music, and speak less. Let calmness talk. These are not grand gestures, they are mercies, scattered across the life of a person walking into darkness alone. Words may fade, but presence endures. Care, as the anthropologist Arthur Kleinman said, is a moral act of presence, listening so that the person and their story still matter. When we replace correction with curiosity, an argument with empathy, something extraordinary happens. The person feels safe, and the caregiver feels peace. The dialogue becomes less about facts and more about feeling. Less about yesterday's accuracy, and more about today's affection. Communication isn't lost, it's transformed. And the conversation continues, sometimes with words, often without, but always, always with love. Read the blog for more details. Join me next Thursday on Blog 8, How to Care Without Going Broke, where we will explore another invisible challenge, planning and managing the cost of caregiving. Till then, speak softly, listen deeply. And be sure, relationship and love will always find a way to communicate. Thank you for joining me.